Obasanjo disowns PDP. Atiku throws weight behind Southern presidency. Wow. So let's see how he did that. There are strong indications that former President Olusegun Obasanjo may have disowned the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar by throwing his weight behind the Southern presidency ahead of the 2023 general elections. Obasanjo, in a statement issued by his special assistant on media, Kehinde Akinyemi, said the former president supports a change of leadership from north to the south. The former president was also quoted to have encouraged the Middle Belt to continue advocating for a rotational presidency. Obasanjo made the declaration at the weekend when the leadership of the Apex Sociocultural Group in Tiv land of Benue State, Mzu Utiv, MUT, paid him an appreciation and friendship visit at his presidential library, OPL penthouse residence in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Both Bola Ahmed Tinubu of All Progressive Congress (APC) and Peter Obi of the Labour Party are the two leading presidential candidates from the South. The former president also advised all Nigerians to eschew emotions ahead of the election, saying that is the only way to get things right in the elections. Obasanjo said he was in support of the change of the leadership of the country from the north to south, while the Middle Belt region should continue to advocate for the rotational presidency for the country. If Nigeria is ready to get it right, the 2023 election should be turning point. We should not go for emotion that will destroy us. Obasanjo, who was conferred with the title of a great warrior of Tiv land by the social political group, said. Obasanjo also declared that with the growing population of the country, the oil and gas sector can no longer feed the nation, but agriculture. And according to the statement, Obasanjo enjoined Nigerians to see the country as for all, to save it and restore to what God has created it to be. Only farming and agribusiness could tackle the nation's growing population. Farming and agribusiness is what will feed the nation, Obasanjo said. He called on the Tiv people to focus on farming and agribusiness, stressing that he had put the experience of having his farm burnt in Benue State behind him, as he hinted at having an industry established in the state next year. Speaking earlier, the President General of the group, Chief Lobby Ihar, stated that the reason for the group's friendship visit is basically to interface with you as our former head of state, a political pillar, a nationalist, an elder statesman, to appreciate your overwhelming love, passion, and concern you have demonstrated over the Tiv people, stressing that it was all historic. He listed 3 prayers for the former president's consideration, including the need for the establishment of a fruit juice industry in Benue State and inclusive national politics. Also was the issue of Fulani herders' attack on Tiv land and opposition on the Nigerian power sharing formula. With regards to the current power equation in the country, we in the Mzu Utiv, in conjunction with the Middle Belt Forum, had unanimously resolved for power shift from the north to the south, for fairness, justice, and true federalism. We want to call on Your Excellency and other well-meaning Nigerians to strictly adhere to the principle of rotation and distribution justice. If this is enforced, the Middle Belt would also be assured of producing the next president come the year 2031, they said. All right? So this is a good one. The Tiv people visited Obasanjo and then expressed themselves what they want and how they want things to go. They respected him and they brought several prayers to him. One is to stick to power rotation. 2 is to also establish a fruit juice plant in production plant in in the thief land and some other things they needed the other 6 months to do for them. All right. And Obasanjo enjoined everybody to always embrace nationalism, all right, and see Nigeria as a country for all and not for one ethnic group. So what they're saying here is that Obasanjo support the power shift or the presidency shift from north to south, and they support the certain candidates to become the president come 2023. But again, between Ahmed Tinubu, who is the APC candidate, and Peter Obi, who is the Labour Party candidate, both from the south, who does Obasanjo support? We don't know. He didn't mention that. All right, he didn't mention that. But looking back to history and looking back on the kind of person Obasanjo is, we know that he will not forgive Atiku. All right, Atiku is somebody he has always suspected to have a very, they call it propensity for corruption, and he will not support that man. Coupled with the fact that the Fulani man has been there for the past 8 years, we cannot afford to put another Fulani man there. Come 2023, another person has to go. And again, when you come to the south, you look at comparison between Tinubu and Peter Obi. Who is better between the two? I am sure it's Peter Obi. Pretty sure it's Peter Obi. So with all the corruptions and fraudulence and perjury and several things around Tinubu, he has not been able to resolve them. And coupled with his age, his health, his shaking, and his gradual degradation of his mental health, all of that put together, it's obvious that he's not fit to be Nigerian president. He does not have the capacity and intelligence and the wherewithal right now at this moment to take over the leadership of Nigeria, looking at his current health condition. So at the end of the day, it's Peter Obi that is the healthiest among the three, cleanest among the three, and most probable person to take over Nigeria come 2023. And again, recall to what happened in a town hall that on occasion that Peter Obi and Obasanjo attended, where Obasanjo stood up from his own seat and then dragged Peter Obi to sit there, meaning he stood up and put Peter Obi there. He raised up his hand and said, I have done my part. It is done. It means that it's Peter Obi that is going to support. Every other thing is just a political game that will actually not get to anything. All right, will not get to anything. So from all indications, and all insinuations, the person in the south or the presidential candidate from the south that Obasanjo support is obviously Peter Obi. If not now, it's still going to be Peter Obi based on all the records at hand. So we've got some comments here. The North should give way for the South to come on board if we must remain as one Nigeria. And that is true. That is true. Bam, absolutely. Somebody supported that is bam and absolutely. Bam, absolutely. That's English, so somebody say good one. I'm not against that, but why is OBJ dislike Atiku? He should allow him rule even once. Nothing bad there, no matter how bad the man may be. Can you imagine? This person, what is this man saying? Somebody you have known that if he goes there, it's going to be very destructive and it's going to be very bad. You say you should give him a chance first. Is it turn by turn? Is it hereditary? Or is it a compensatory position to become Nigerian president? We don't take that. So you are aware that Atiku is a bad person, yet OBJ should allow him rule at least once. So leadership is now give now, Abi. Even when you know he is a bad person, but pack well. So pack well, all right? Pack well. Obasanjo destroyed us by supporting Buhari in 2015, and what is he saying now? Well, it is unfortunate it has happened, but there's still chance to correct everything. All right? So that is the message that we are getting from the visit the thief group made to Obasanjo in Nispet House in Ota, Ogun State, Nigeria. It's obvious that Obasanjo supports a certain president, but who among the two he has not mentioned. but the records and activity in the past has shown who he needs, who he's supporting. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment below.